I'm Gali Gold from Bird's Eye View. We are a UK film festival celebrating women's filmmakers. So it's a great opportunity for us, of course, to interview you with your fantastic debut film. And what we notice in the festival is that we often get lots of shorts made by women, but then something happens, and there's a big, gap between that and a feature film. And you managed to go and, make that very successful transition. And I would like to know, what were the challenges for you and what was most exciting in that process?
It was very exciting to get the opportunity to get my teeth into a feature. I was hungry for it, and it was cool to be able to do it. I think the challenges were the learning curve was very steep, and because you never want to, I didn't want to give away that I didn't always know what the answers were, or I didn't always know the, I didn't know what a second AD did, when we got on set, and I didn't know what a tech recce was. But there's no way I was going to say that, so it's just having to pick it up very, very quickly and rely on the fact that the team members around were very experienced and thankfully very supportive. So.
Yeah, do you think there was something about, being a woman that made certain things easier or harder? It's a huge production, lots of, big budget, cross countries, international co-production. How was that?
The first Prime Minister I ever remember was Margaret Thatcher. So I didn't grow up with the sense of you shouldn't do something because you're a girl. And I think love it or hate it, that was the thing. It didn't occur, and there wasn't that sense in school. There wasn't that sense. I didn't have that sensibility. So the first time I encountered it was quite late in life, and then it felt odd.
Okay.
So I don't think I don't feel very gendered or agendered in the way of approaching things. I think you are who you are, and hopefully people will take you on those terms. So the crew that we had was incredibly supportive. Pathé were amazingly supportive. They felt the work that I'd done prior to this put me in good stead to do this film, and it was a risk for them, but then the project generally was a risk for them, and finding a good team, being able to work with people, hoping that I would be able to learn quickly enough the stuff that I didn't know in advance.
Sure. Now you're talking about personal point of view, and of course you have, Rwandan roots yourself, but you are obviously white European. How did you find that this kind of particular disposition informed your filmmaking in Africa?
I think it. The fact that I have white skin but was made in Taiwan and did my A-levels in India, and my mother was born and brought up in Rwanda, so I'm eligible for a Rwandan passport. I think there's the feeling of I had the right to be involved in telling this kind of story, and having spent quite a bit of time in Rwanda over the last few years, I could feel the frustration of my Rwandan friends of there's only one story being told about us. We're broader than this, and nobody wants to avoid or ignore the genocide, but there's a broader personality to Rwanda than just 1994. And I felt very inspired to be part of telling that, or opening the box so that those kind of stories can come through. And with football as well, my first job out of college was presenting a football show in Singapore, and I'm one of 5 girls with a football mad dad, so we had to be embroiled in the beautiful game from quite early on. So there again, potentially you shouldn't be a young white woman telling a story about a feature film about football in Africa, but why not?
Yeah, no, that sounds you're highly qualified for that. And what I've noticed and I really loved about this film is that although it's a family drama, and obviously really with a great appeal to young people, you don't shy away from tackling difficult issues like HIV/AIDS and child prostitution. And how did you use the film in order to do that? Because obviously you're showing us a very different side of Africa, and still you're engaging with very topical kind of issues. How did you do that, knowing that this is going to be a family drama?
I think there are various different impetuses, wanting to, things don't fit in nice little neat boxes in life. You don't have fairy tales over here and issues over there. being, growing up as part of the world today, particularly kids in the world today where internet and TV, and there's a lot of awareness about the problems in life as well as the hopes and aspirations, so it felt completely right that they would be existing in the same space. And it also felt, in the same way that there was a frustration to tell, made us want to tell a story about Africa that wasn't purely doom and gloom and like savagery and tragedy and all the rest of it. It also felt that it would be completely inauthentic to tell one that completely ignored the harsh realities of life that a lot of people and a lot of kids deal with. So that we absolutely wanted to tell a story where those things existed in the same space, and where, can you tell a fairy tale in Africa? Will people allow that? I don't see why not, but, is that acceptable? I don't know. This is what we're about to find out. So but I think there's no doubt to my mind that when you're growing up in a tough environment, you still make things up, and you have an imagination and you play games and you absolutely think that anything's possible in life. Why shouldn't it be? So, it felt all very appropriate and quite exciting to have a go at.
Yeah, I have to say that it all comes together really neatly, so that's
thank you.
congratulations about that.